Welcome, spicy ladies. How to be a better Sigma female, a survival guide. Being a Sigma female isn't about trying to be different. It's about realizing you already are. You don't fit into the usual categories of women. You're not an attention seeker. You don't follow an already written script, and you don't rely on anyone to define your worth. People often misunderstand you because you don't behave the way they expect. You're quiet but strong, detached but observant, independent but not in an I'm trying to prove something way. You just are. But let's be real. Being a Sigma female comes with its own challenges. You move through the world differently, and not everyone knows how to handle that. Some people see you as intimidating. Others mistake your silence for weakness. Some will even try to control you simply because they can't figure you out. If you're not careful, you can fall into isolation, exhaustion, or even self-doubt. This guide isn't about turning you into something you're not. It's about sharpening what's already there. It's about making sure your independence doesn't turn into loneliness, your strength doesn't become a burden, and your ability to cut people off doesn't rob you of meaningful connections. You don't need to change. You just need to master how you navigate life. If you're ready to move smarter, protect your peace, and stay untouchable in your own lane, then let's get started. This isn't just about survival, it's about thriving on your terms. Number 1, stop explaining yourself. Let people stay confused. One of the biggest mistakes a Sigma female can make is thinking people want to understand her. They don't. Most people aren't asking questions because they genuinely care about your perspective. They're asking because they want to fit you into a box. And the moment you start explaining yourself, you give them the exact tools they need to judge, manipulate, or undermine you. You've probably experienced this before. You make a decision that feels right for you, and suddenly someone demands an explanation. Why are you so quiet? Why don't you hang out more? Why don't you follow the usual path? At first, you might feel the urge to clarify, to make them see why you operate the way you do. But here's the brutal truth. They don't actually want to understand. You're just making them uncomfortable by being different. So, let them be uncomfortable. Let them misunderstand. Let them assume whatever they want. It's not your job to correct their perception. In fact, the more you explain, the more power you give away. Because now they know what makes you tick. They know what bothers you. They know how to poke at your reasoning and make you doubt yourself. And worst of all, they won't respect you more for explaining. They'll respect you less. Mystery is a Sigma female's greatest weapon. When people can't figure you out, they can't predict you. And when they can't predict you, they can't control you. You don't owe anyone a roadmap to your mind. If someone can't accept your decisions without a detailed PowerPoint presentation on why you made them, that's their problem, not yours. Next time someone tries to pull an explanation out of you, try this. Give a vague answer, change the subject, or simply smile and say nothing. Watch how uncomfortable they get when they realize they don't have access to your thoughts. Confusion is power. Use it. Number 2, play the fool, but keep score. There's a certain power in being underestimated. When people assume you're not paying attention, they get sloppy. They reveal their real intentions, let their guard down, and show you exactly who they are. And that's where your advantage lies. Not in proving yourself, but in playing along while secretly taking notes. Most people rush to defend themselves the moment they feel underestimated. They feel the need to show their intelligence, prove their strength, or make sure no one mistakes them for weak. That's a waste of energy. A Sigma female knows better. Instead of correcting people's assumptions, she lets them believe whatever they want while mentally keeping score. Let them think you don't notice their little manipulations. Let them assume you're naive when they lie. Let them believe you're not picking up on their arrogance, selfishness, or two-faced behavior. Meanwhile, behind that calm expression, you're cataloging every pattern, every contradiction, every sign of who they truly are. When the time comes to make a move, whether it's cutting someone off, exposing their hypocrisy, or simply disengaging, you'll do it with precision while they're still under the illusion that you don't see through them. This isn't about being deceitful, it's about being strategic. The world is full of people who take advantage of those who show their cards too soon. When you play the fool, you control the game. You decide who earns your trust and who gets discarded without ever realizing they were being tested in the first place. And the best part? By the time they realize you were never fooled, it'll be too late. You'll be 3 steps ahead while they're still thinking you never left the starting line. Number 3, train your intuition like a weapon. Your intuition isn't some mystical force. It's your mind processing patterns, behaviors, and energy faster than you can consciously register. It's raw intelligence built from experience, observation, and even past mistakes. But here's the problem: most people ignore it. They second-guess themselves, let logic, emotions, or outside opinions convince them otherwise, and that's exactly how they end up walking into situations they should have avoided. A Sigma female trusts her intuition, and not just in a vague, gut-feeling kind of way. She trains it like a weapon. She sharpens it through awareness. She notices patterns in people's behavior, even the subtle ones. How someone's energy shifts when they lie, how small details don't add up in a conversation, how certain environments feel off before anything even happens. This isn't paranoia, it's preparedness. Your instincts are your first line of defense in a world that thrives on deception. People will say the right things while their actions betray them. Situations will look perfect on the surface while something feels off underneath. Your logic might try to convince you you're overthinking, but deep down, you know better. Start listening, start trusting, and more importantly, start acting on your instincts. If someone drains your energy every time they're around, believe it. If a deal seems too good to be true, believe it. If an opportunity feels wrong in ways you can't explain yet, believe it. Your intuition is processing things you haven't consciously caught yet, but in time, you'll see you were right. The more you trust your instincts, the stronger they become. You'll start reading situations with deadly accuracy, making moves before anyone even realizes what's happening. While others are still doubting themselves, hesitating, and getting blindsided, you'll be 10 steps ahead. So, train your intuition, sharpen it, treat it as the weapon it is. Because once you do, nothing and no one will ever catch you off guard again. Number 4, people will call you difficult, own it. The moment you stop bending over backward for others, people will label you as difficult. The moment you say no without explaining yourself, they'll call you cold. The moment you hold yourself to high standards and refuse to tolerate nonsense, suddenly you're too much. Good. Own it. Being called difficult is not an insult. It's a sign that you refuse to be controlled. People throw that word around when they realize they can't manipulate you. When they see you won't shrink yourself to fit their expectations, when they can't guilt trip, pressure, or sweet talk you into doing what they want. Instead of taking offense, you should take it as a badge of honor. Because the truth is, being easygoing is often just code for being easy to take advantage of. The world loves women who are agreeable, who don't push back, who sacrifice their own needs to make everyone else comfortable. But a Sigma female doesn't play that game. She knows that her time, energy, and respect are earned, not handed out freely. If that makes her difficult, so be it. The right people won't be scared off by your standards, they'll appreciate them. They'll respect the fact that you know your worth and refuse to settle. And the wrong people? They'll either complain or disappear. Let them. Anyone who expects you to lower yourself just to make their life easier is someone who was never meant to be in your space in the first place. So let them talk. Let them label you. Let them misunderstand. Your job is not to be easy for everyone. You're not here to be molded into what others prefer. You're here to be you. And if that makes you difficult in their eyes, then they were never meant to handle you in the first place. Own it. Stay true to yourself. To all the spicy ladies, make life beautiful. See you in our next video.